What's up, guys? Nunnker. Alright, time for part 2 of my UFC 100 full card predictions. Alright, so we left off. I did my Quillin versus Bonner prediction. Obviously, I had Bonner by KO. So now, first fight on the main card, Yoshihiro Akiyama making his debut in the UFC against Alan Belcher. And they're giving Alan Belcher all these tough guys who are making their debut now. He fought Dennis King, who was a really hyped up guy making his debut. Then they give him to Belcher, and Belcher was getting dominated the whole fight, and then all of a sudden Belcher got what I believe, I might get some bull for this, crap for this, but I think it was a lucky guillotine. I think in a rematch King would dominate Belcher. And I think Akiyama, for those of you who don't know who Yoshihiro Akiyama is, look him up right now on YouTube or go buy some. Well, he wasn't in Pride, so go find him on the internet, watch some of his videos. He only has one loss to Jerome Lee Banner by KO, but that was a while ago. That was back in 2005, and he's beaten some great. He beat Dennis King actually by knockout. He beat Melvin Manhoef. Those are his biggest wins, but he's a veteran of the game. He's 12-1. Belcher, I think he got lucky his last fight. He lost to Jason Day, who's not all that great. He lost to Kendall Grove. He lost to Okami, and I think Akiyama is just gonna use his better jiu-jitsu, take this fight to the ground, and I think that Yoshihiro Akiyama will win a submission victory here. Pretty one-sided. So I think Belcher's gonna get exposed. Anyways, next fight of the night, and one of the main headers. Excuse me. One of the main headers, Dan Henderson against Michael Bisping. So, Dan Henderson, where to start? He has victories over, I'm just going to name some off the top of my head. He beat Wanderlei Silva, Rich Franklin, Husamar Paul Harris. He beat Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira. The list goes on for people he beat. He's fought just about everybody. He fought Quentin Rampage Jackson, Anderson Silva. He's been in there with the best. Michael Bisping has not. I think Michael Bisping is getting too much ahead of himself. He's talking a lot of smack, like he's gonna knock Dan Henderson out. It's like, dude, if Wanderlei Silva, Quentin Rampage Jackson, Rich Franklin, if all these tough guys couldn't knock out Dan Henderson, Michael Bisping's not gonna knock him out. He couldn't finish Chris Lieben. He couldn't finish Rashad Evans. He couldn't finish Matt Hamill. And I read a quote that he said, when I'm angry, nobody can beat me. He fought Matt Hamill, and it was one of the biggest grudge matches of all time, and in my opinion, he lost that fight. Henderson is aging, he's getting older, but he looked great in the Husamar Paul Harris and Rich Franklin fight. I think he's gonna use his wrestling a lot, and he's gonna expose Bisping's bad wrestling skills. He's gonna have a better chin, better cardio. Stand up, I think, will be about even. And I think Dan Henderson here is gonna win a unanimous decision. I think it'll be close. Don't get me wrong. Gotta give Michael Bisping respect. He beat some tough guys. He's looked great at middleweight. He's undefeated as a middleweight. His only loss is a split decision to Rashad Evans. He's won his last 3 fights. But I think Henderson is just gonna be all around better, and we're gonna see why Henderson is such a veteran, how he's been around for so long. He's beat some top guys, and I think half the guys Henderson beat are better than Michael Bisping. So I think Henderson will win a unanimous decision. Next fight of the night, John Fitch against Paulo Diago. Hate that guy. He's one of my least favorite fighters, and I think you guys know why, because he beat my favorite fighter, Josh Koscheck, in a fight that I still say was an early stoppage. You know, Koscheck was knocked out. I'm not going to get into this too much detail, but make long story short, Koscheck was knocked out for a second, but you don't stop. But then he was back. He got his consciousness back. You know, he was looking at him. He was moving around after he was knocked out for a split second. You don't stop the fight after the fighter is knocked out. You stop the fight when he's knocked out. If he's back and he's ready to fight, you don't stop the fight. And if you watch the fight, I've seen the fight now like 2 or 3 times, and I think the fight could have went on. Paulo Thiago's undefeated. He's 11-0. Big upset went over Josh Koscheck by TKO in his UFC debut. He is a jiu-jitsu specialist, and he's also a policeman in Brazil. Okay, so, anyways, he's a jiu-jitsu specialist, not very good stand-up. For those of you who didn't see the Koscheck fight, don't, start thinking he has good stand-up, because in the Koscheck fight, his hands were down, he showed very sloppy technique. Koscheck just got, I guess, put his hands down, he got caught by a nice uppercut. Anyways, John Fitch. So, he is coming off a win over Akihiro Gono, unanimous decision. We all know fought some of the best. He's been in there with Josh Berkman, Thiago Alves, George St. Pierre, tons of tough guys, and I think he really learned a lot from that St. Pierre fight. I think he came back stronger, and he looked very good in the Gono fight. I think this is, guys, bet money on Fitch. You have my word for it. Fitch will beat Paulo Thiago. He's been in there with guys who are just as good as Thiago on the ground. I mean, his stand-up's going to be way better. He's not going to make the same mistake Koscheck did, I don't think. I think he has a better chin than Koscheck and Thiago. I think Fitch will have way better stand-up, better wrestling, and I think that, Fitch, I don't believe has been submitted. I don't think that he's been submitted ever, and I don't think that Paulo Thiago is going to go out there and submit him if George St. Pierre could finish Fitch in 5 rounds. So I think John Fitch will win the TKO.